Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of Addington News. Darren, off the back of another really good race night last week. And of course, we go back-to-back Thursdays over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, a couple of Thursdays in a row, and then we move to the racing twice a week for 9 weeks. So we'll be every Sunday plus alternating between Thursdays and Fridays. But yeah, look, a good race meeting last week. Good stakes on offer again this week. Some money there to be had. But yeah, some good results, Greg. Just looking at the Ultimate Racebook results, some ones there to follow, in particular Beach Ball, who he was the fastest pacer home over 400 metres, 25.79, running second, takes his place in race 7 this week. The other ones that were really quick home aren't racing this week, so keeping an eye on those, in particular the Trotter Waikiwi. He was home in 56.3 for his last mile, 27.9, running fourth. Thought he was really good. First up, horse Bet and Win. Only finished 8th, but was the fastest trotter home in 58 seconds.
Flashing red light on the helmet of David White there. It's definitely got some real ability.
Yeah, and of course the winner, Life's a Beach. Her times were exceptional all the way. She was home in 53.5, I think, her last mile, and 54 seconds the last half. She was the fastest pacer. So as we say, keep an eye on those, but those trotters in particular, Waikiwi and Bet and Win, are well worth watching coming up.
Now, there's someone buzzing around the office. She normally is. She's never short of a word. At the moment, she's got plenty to say. Her name's Jo McMaster, and she runs the ladies' night. And the tickets are literally going out the door, having only gone online this week.
Yeah, they have. Look, we're going to follow that up with a whole lot of information. There's a number of little surprises inside that, a wee bit like owner's night. But if you like on speed, Greg, I mean, I think the tickets are $89. I know the ladies get a gift from Lyndon Leaves as they come into the room that's worth $30. And then there's a number of other things, including a trip to Mooloolaba, flights and accommodation for 5 nights. So there's a lot coming up. We'll keep following that up. But addington.co.nz to book those tickets online. And as you say, that a lot of them went out the door straight away with repeat business from ladies that have been there in the past and just love it. So they've got in quickly, yeah.
Yep. All right. Looking forward to that. We will certainly keep you updated. Let's get into the full meeting preview. A little bit light on numbers. Doesn't make it any easier, though, Darren. There's some tricky races, but we will do our best.
Race 1's the IRT, your horse, our Passion Mobile Trot 1980, and we get underway 5:04.
Yep, good even race it is. Crackling is fresh up for Brad Williamson and showed enough at 2, I thought, to at least win a couple of races and possibly even more. So the mobile will suit, no doubt. Has trialled up okay. So, yeah, give it a very good chance in a fresh condition. She's got Sass, Blair Orange Dries for Roger Austin. Inside barrier mobile, again, should be of assist here. What the Hill 3-year-old filly, and the What the Hills in the last couple of weeks have really started standing up. So I give it a decent chance. Courtney May from a handy barrier draw with just a front line of 7 and 1 off the unruly should just jump straight into the markers, I would think. And a couple of its performances earlier on were good enough to suggest that it would be very competitive here. And Dancing Glennis was a solid last start, 4th, I felt. When last presented, that was at Timaru back in April. But 4, 1, 2 and 8 in the first.
Race number 2 is the Airpark Canterbury Mobile Pace 1980, 5:34. Airpark Canterbury, of course, sponsors of the Addington Owners Card, plus a number of races, signage under the big screen and things. Graham Harris does a tremendous job with that company out there, and we appreciate all the support that he gives Addington.
Yeah, absolutely, we do. And if you're thinking of travelling, going across to Australia, go and park your car there. You won't get a better deal than what Graham can offer you. Commander Ben stepped out of maiden company and did it with great aplomb behind Watermelon Sugar, who will be very competitive later on too. Nice barrier draw, gained in confidence. No reason to think that it won't go very close to winning again. Ain't No Angel hated the stand last time, so back to a mobile here. Won't be easy from out there. But she's a mare with good ability. Barnstormer keeps racing well. Solid 3rd here last week behind, or 2 weeks ago it was, behind Superstar Legend. Wouldn't need to go much better than that. And McKendrick is a horse I've always had a little bit of time for. It's got a chance, but it would need to get the right sort of run from that whitish barrier draw. The one that I'm just never sure what to do with Lizzie Richter, Darren. It could just line up and win this for fun. When it was stringing them together there, it looked like she could have been anything. But I know her previous trainer, Terry Schmiel, had a nightmare with her at times. And Mark Jones says it just comes down to whether she turns up. And in a fresh condition, she may very well do that. But 3, 9, 4 and 8 I'll go for.
Race number 3, Resource Recycling Trot, a 2,000 metre stand, 6:04. Terry McDonald and his team, Greg, of course, owner of the great horse, Terry to Love.
Yeah, exactly. Caught up with Terry actually on Trots Talk on SENZ radio on Sunday. It was great having a yarn to him. We're on the eve, of course, of the Trillion Trust Auckland Cup, and I don't know if there's an older race, Darren, actually. It was first run in 1890, so it's sort of 13 years older than the IRT New Zealand Cup, and what it meant to him to win and that on that occasion chase down Adore Me, which we know what a brilliant racehorse she was, and she actually won the Cup of that year too. And he'd finished second in his previous 2 behind Sir Lincoln and the Mighty Quinn, so it's a bloody hard race to win. It'll be a cracking race again this week. So, yeah, good to have Terry's company associated with race number 3. He's backed Addington for a very, very long time. So, it's good to have him involved here. Majestic Love, I'm thinking the Williamson clan can get the business done here. Phil and Brad combined. She was fresh up last time, probably in need of that run. Should be improved off it, I would imagine, and should be very hard to beat here. So I'll go for Majestic Love on top of Mighty Logan, who's racing really well. Jesper Fast is a horse that can be competitive here. Winner at Rangiora a couple of starts back, and then here last time. Thought it was pretty handy late in the piece. And Buffy Norstains just didn't get into the race at Rangiora, but still found the line really strongly. And if they got the right sort of run or the right card into it, it would take some beating too. 6, 2, 3 and 9.
Race number 4 is the Harness Racing Unhinged Mobile Pace 1980, 6:34. Harness Racing Unhinged on Facebook. All of the information from race nights here at Addington, but not only Addington, Greg, a huge amount of information that Nigel puts together from around most of the meetings in Canterbury, and of course the beach report from Woodend every weekend. Yeah,
he rocks out there and covers it off and always doing something a bit different, and he is unhinged at times, so it's pretty well named, and you'll learn some stuff because every time he goes and does it, I know he does. So he's with race number 4. Black Mark is the one I've gone for here. Sam Thornley, Ken Barron raced very well in its 2 starts since a long layoff. Second was in behind Eastwood Dream here last week. Wouldn't need to improve much off that, and gets a barrier draw to operate from for the first time in this campaign. So, big winning chance, I thought. Franco Messi probably sits in the same camp in terms of a winning chance. Brent and Tim White, they do a very good job with their horses, and this one was an excellent second on debut at the local track at Ashburton. Light Up the Fire from the barrier is going to get an economical trip, and Sharp as Attack, I thought it would win its maiden fresh up, as the punters did, backed it into half or a third of the quote that it was, from 12s into about 4s. Hasn't been able to get that elusive win, but has been 3 times second, so there's definitely a win there. 4, 2, 1 and 7.
Big shout out to those trainers, Greg, that come in with late nominations for this race. A $12,000 maiden, 4 nominations at time of close. If we hadn't kept this race open, the rights of those horses that had done what they were meant to do by nominating on time would have been lost. They wouldn't have had a race. So we appreciate the support that we got from those trainers that come in to get us an 8-horse maiden for $12,000. So good luck to the people that are in that race. Race number 5 is the Garrett's Horse and Hound Junior Drivers Mobile Pace 2600, 7:04. An opportunity for our juniors in an exempt race, Greg.
Yeah, it is, and it's a good field. It's a tricky race to try and work out what might happen. I ended up settling on Absolute Dynamite. Thought its last start performance behind Smoke on the Water a couple of weeks ago had plenty of merit. Wasn't far off grabbing that win and wouldn't need to lift much. So I'll go for it. 8 to beat 9, Ron McKinley. This one trained by Trent Yersberg. He's another one we caught up with on Trots Talk on Sunday, and he done a good job, this horse, Ron McKinley. I reckon there's still a little bit more left in his racing career too. So I give him a good chance, good each way chance. Alana Cameron from that wide front row draw, but there's clearly ability there. In the 2,600 metres, will negate that somewhat. Press plays racing really well for Joseph Gray, and Olivia Thornley takes the drive, as is the case for Tempo Warrior. So couple wide out front row and a couple off the second row. It'd be fair to say, Darren, I'm hedging my bets in race number 5, 8, 9, 11 and 12.
Race number 6 is the Peter Lagan Standardbreds Trot, 2,000 metres, 7:34. Pete involved, obviously, hugely in the industry for a long period of time and a big supporter of the awards here at Addington, Greg.
Yeah, he is. He sponsors the training and driving awards here. And anything you want to know about a standardbred, he's got as much knowledge as anybody. He'll inspect your yearlings or weanlings for you, give you his advice. He's clearly sells horses as well. So he's got a big part to play in the game, and it's good to have his name with race number 6. I went for Boys Invasion. Every time you look at a race like this, you think 35 to 43. You've got to go down, and Boys Invasion 10 wins, just perfectly placed for it. So, and I know it's been punching around in those types of races for a wee while, but yeah, it's hard to go against a horse like it. I thought What the Bell would be hard to beat, but it's still a maiden. This horse has won 10 races, so 7 on top to beat Kink, who's only won 1 race, but was excellent, I thought, at Rangiora on Sunday. Found the line really strongly for Margot 9, Peter Davis. Dragon Sunrise was second here last week behind Lovey Dovey Nova, which was a pretty cool win. Jeff Wheeler, we had a good yarn to him in the Brecon Winning Owners Bar after Lovey Dovey Nova. It's obviously a family he's had great association with, and it was our mate, the late Colin Steele's memorial race, and he was quite chuffed to win that race because he'd often rung and nominated his horses with Colin over the years. So, that was pretty cool win. So anyway, back to Dragon Sunrise. It's got a decent chance, and What the Bell's got the breeding and is starting to show it on race day, although it's racing against horses that have won plenty more races, including one I haven't even mentioned, Darren. The ageless Take After Me, who will be competitive again, steps very quickly, 2,000 metres. What win numbers Take After Me up to, Darren?
14 trotting, but he's won pacing races as well. So.
Yeah, I know. Remarkable horse. Remarkable. Anyway, 7,481.
Think, of course, one of those ones that had a flashing light on 3 starts ago here at Addington popped up on the Ultimate Racebook times and has had a second and a third since. Race number 7 is the first leg of the Lake Quaddy. Ladies' Night is back 23rd of June. Don't forget that, addington.co.nz for your tickets. The mobile pace 1980 804.
Yeah, Beach Bull. Look, if he races like he did last time, Darren, and if he goes forward and gets the lead, which he might not be able to because Sweet Bell, Glory's Delight, Mossdale Ben all charge the arm. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Max Hill does, but he's the best horse in the race. I don't think there's any doubt about that at all, and therefore he's got to be top pick. I thought Tommy Waterhouse was very good here last week. That was in behind Don Maro, who's absolutely low flying at the moment. So I give Tommy Waterhouse a chance, of course, these days with Ken Barron. Glory's Delight, Sweet Bell, Mossdale Ben. Line them up whichever way you want. They're going to be in the fight early, and whichever one gets the most economical trip is likely to fill one of those top 3 or 4 spots. I'll go 7, 6, 3 and 4, but yeah, Mossdale Ben, I'm probably loath to leave him out.
Race number 8 is the Stora Motors Handicap Trot, 2,600, 834.
Yeah, good on Rich. He's looking after race number 8 for us, another great supporter of Addington. Unico Vacanza gets its chance to beat Jimmy Carter this week, gets a start off it, Darren, and it might just be enough, that 10 metres. So, I'll go for it on top. The 7 to beat 8, Jimmy Carter, he's found a new lease of life, and he's winning, and he's comfortable, and he's happy, and that's why he's racing so well. So 7 to beat 8. The Bloss didn't get all favours last week. Saying that, probably wasn't as sharp as what she can be, but Sarah O'Reilly's back in the bike this week, and we know how well she gets on with the Bloss. And Holly Highlander's a mare by creatine that's got real ability, this horse. I can see it marching its way through the grades, still only lightly tried, start number 12 on Thursday night, but we quite like this horse, 7, 8, 5 and 3.
Race number 9 is the Woodland Stud. Thanks our buyers, Fillies and Mares mobile pace 1980 at 903.
8, 7, 5 and 6 here for me. Dance Till Dawn, got the Uncut Gem win, and then last week, didn't think it was too bad, and behind Life's a Beach, it was a stronger field than this for mine. So I think she can win again, although race pattern dependent. It's not just going to be a line-up and win job. Classy Link's been racing great for ages. Bruce Negus and Cherie Tomlinson. Double down is Brendan Hill and Ricky May combined with this filly by Art Major. She's had 2 runs back this time in, both at Ashburton. And I thought she was pretty good last time. And behind Bree Express, who's now made its way north. And the other one, Smokin' Annie. You talk about the Ultimate Race Book, just kept appearing on there a few times. And wouldn't surprise me at all if Smokin' Annie blew them away in a race like this, because she just needs the right sort of run. And she's often unlucky, but one day she's going to win by 3 and you're going to, how did I miss that?
Race number 10 is the First Rex Taxis Mobile Pace 1980, and the last gets underway 9:32.
Yeah, we found this one last time, Smoke on the Water, and it ended up blowing out to about $11. Had trialled really nicely, and it was a big run. It was last on the fence at the 1400, went right round them and still won, and won nicely too, Darren. So, yeah, I give it a big chance, Smoke on the Water, of going back-to-back. Adesanya racing well for the Duns. Wide front row draw won't make it easy, but 2 wins in its last 4 starts suggests it's not finished yet. Franco Sinatra missed out last time, but that was a Don't Stop Dreaming hot race, of course. It was the heat leading into the Group 1 final, wasn't it? So, yeah, it'll be competitive, I think. Or was it the final? Doesn't really matter. It was a hot field. And Major Talk comes up with Barrier 1, Inside Watermelon Sugar, who was excellent last week. But I think Major Talk can go close here, because Bluto, the horse that beat it, is very talented, as we know. 4, 9, 6 and 1 in the last.
The Smoke on the Water was subject of one of those Harness Racing Unhinged interviews following its race. It's worth going back if you want to go back and have a look at that one a few weeks back when he raced. Ricky May doesn't say much about horses, pretty reserved sort of a fella, but he was beaming about this particular fella, Greg, in that interview. All signs sort of point to the fact that he's going to go on with it, I think.
Yep, I agree.
We're going to leave you with a video from last week's racing, the last race on the card. Gee, there was some good racing across the board, but Greg, there was nothing more impressive last week than Bluto. The outside of the gate, blasted the gate for Kimberly Butt, sitting in the bike, keeping the seat warm for Sarah O'Reilly. And, gee, she handled the horse well, and he was just way, way too good, Greg. We're going to see a lot more of him, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely we are. And on that last race, the horse that ran second to it, Major Talk's probably a good lead having a look at this video.
Bluto now shaken up off its back. Major Talk, then McKendrick and Paraki Silster. Bluto at the 150 is 2.5 clear from Major Talk, and they're clear from the rest. It's Bluto, though, inside the 100 metres, is drawing away a really talented horse, Bluto. He's taken them all the way and done it with a leg in the air. Won it by 4 from Major Talk. Classy Link powered home for 3rd. Dr. Tim maybe 4th, just ahead of McKendrick, and then came Marin Franco Eastwood Ideal. Kalasa, Dr. Tim, Paraki Silster and McCrikey.